guys, so this video is for our kindergarten and first grade leaders for our Easter services. And before I get started, I just want to take a second to say thank you to all of you for serving this Easter weekend. I know we have extra services and you guys still have things going on with your family and you want to go to church with your family. And so just thank you for taking that time out to just serve, because really none of this could happen without you. We have families that are going to be coming for the first time, people inviting guests coming for the first time, kids that are going to hear how much Jesus loves them for the first time. And if you all didn't volunteer and serve, then that just wouldn't happen. So just thank you so much for serving and taking time out this weekend to do that. I really, really just appreciate all of you so much. So this new month in April, we have a new theme of road trip, and our life app is patience, waiting until later for what you want now. And this first week, our Bible story is the Easter story, and our bottom line is Jesus is alive. So our new memory verse for this month is, wait for the Lord, be strong, and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. So obviously times are going to be a little different for Saturday night service, but just make sure you're here at 4:30, 8:30, or 10:30. And before kids come, just take a couple minutes to pray for them. Thank God for everything that Easter represents. Thank Him for Jesus and what He did on the cross. And just pray that kids have fun when they're at these Easter services, but then they also start to understand what God has done for them. So when kids start to roll in at 4:40, 8:40, and 10:40, you're going to play with toys in your small group, ask about their week, make sure you know their names. Especially, we'll probably have a lot of first-time guests, so make sure that they just feel very welcome and comfortable. And then talk with kids about how their families celebrate Easter. Ask them if they have an Easter egg hunt, or if they get a special new outfit, or if they have a special meal with their family. Then when services start at 5, 9, and 11, you're going to play a little game called Are We There Yet? So what they're going to do is they're going to play like a little freeze frame. So you're going to have kids say, okay, can you guys tell me different ways that you could travel? So here's a bunch of examples, and you're going to say, okay, you guys are going to take a pretend trip, but you guys are going to be the cars or the plane or the train or the boat. And I'll have a Bluetooth speaker in each of your rooms, so someone can either use, someone will have to use their phone, and I will post some YouTube links on your guys' Facebook page of just some of the songs that we sing down in worship, and you could play some of the worship songs. So when you start to play the music, you're going to say, okay, everybody's going to be a car, and then kids will move around the room like a car, and then stop the music, and they have to freeze. And then after they pause, say, okay, now everybody's going to move like a plane, and then play the music, and then kids start to go, and when you stop the music, they have to freeze. And then you'll just change modes of transportation each time you stop the music, and it just says, be sure the final freeze challenges your group's patience. So each time you freeze, each time in between, you're going to have them wait a little bit longer. You're going to make the freeze a little bit longer. And at the end of the game, just a little tip, slow down by calling like, okay, everybody's going to be a rowboat, and we're going to row really slowly, our slow driving car. And then say, wow, you guys did a great job staying frozen. Was it hard to stay frozen that last time I stopped the music? Because you're going to let the pause be kind of long. So did you guys know that you waited a whole minute on that last freeze? Wow, do you guys think you could wait 10 minutes? Do you think you could freeze for an hour or a day or 3 days? Today in Large Group, we're going to hear about a time when God and people waited a long time for something really special and important to happen. So let's go learn more. So then you'll head down to Large Group and just make sure that you sit with your small group, help them to worship and listen to the story. Then when you get back, you're going to do something really fun and a little unusual. You're going to kind of make little chia pets with your kids. So we're going to have stations set up around the room, or maybe just at your cart. This might work best. You have at the bottom, the yellow is a tablecloth to spread out on the floor. And what you're going to do is you're going to give each kid one of these cups that has a nylon in it. And the first thing that they're going to put in the cup is in these little Cool-Up containers, because Joellen is literally the most organized leader in the whole entire world. And I love her. Hold on, I'm going to set you down for a second so that I can open this up, because I forgot to do that first. So what kids are going to do is they're going to take a spoonful. This is actually grass seed. And they will take a spoonful of grass seed, probably not even that much, and they'll pour it into their nylon. And then you guys also have dirt. You're going to have some dirt, and I'm sure that it will be much more organized than this. But then what the kids are going to do is they'll take a cupful or a spoonful and they will put a few spoonfuls of dirt on top of, trying not to make a mess and spill this, on top of their grass seed. They want to put a decent amount of dirt in. So maybe like 3 or 4 spoonfuls. So that was 4 spoonfuls right there. Okay, then what they're going to do is, I'm going to try to show this the best that I can. Let's see if I can balance it on my baby bump here. It's going to be a little high. Okay. Then what you'll do, sorry, patience. This is good practice in patience. You're going to take the nylon off the cup. Hopefully this is on the video. And you're going to kind of shake it down into the bottom of the nylon so that the grass seed should be at the very bottom, which will become the top. So you might have to pull the nylon out a little bit and then shake everything down into the bottom of it. And then what you will do, you want to make like a little ball almost. And then you're going to knot it off. I would do a double knot for all your kiddos. And then they can set it, so it needs to be more of a ball. So I did not squish mine down enough. Because if it's a ball, then it should sit in the top. So they're going to need more dirt. So I did not put enough dirt in. So they'll probably need like a cup full of dirt so that it can make like a ball and sit on top of their cup. I'll make another one that's an example. So then once it's a ball and it has enough dirt and it's sitting on top of their cup, what they're going to do is you have a bowl full of little eyes, and these eyes have sticky backs so they can pull off the little back, and they'll just stick the eyeballs on to their little guy, and then they can use this little pin for the nose and just poke that in, and then they have eyes and a nose on their little dude. And what will happen is they will show patience. They're all going to take one of these things home, and it says thoroughly water the head of your patient's pet. So it should look like that. See how it's like a ball on top of the cup? Set your pet in the cup and place some water in the bottom of the cup, making sure that it reaches the bottom of the nylon knot. And then put your pet in a sunny spot. And whenever your pet's head feels dry, you're going to water it, and you have to be patient. And they will start to see grass seeds sprout up to make little hairs for their pets in about a week or 2. So they're going to practice being patient. So make sure that each kid will make one. They'll have their ball on top, they'll have their eyes and their nose, and their patient's pet care card. And then if some kids are waiting while other kids are still working, you can play I Spy or something like that to help them practice patient behavior. Or they could draw and decorate on their cups with markers while they're waiting too. So then to close this down, you're just going to say, so how long do you guys think it will take for your grass to grow? Do you think that it will be hard to wait until it starts growing? One thing I know, it's going to take patience for you to wait while your grass seeds sprout and you grow hair on them. In our Bible story today, we learned that God waited until just the right time to send his son Jesus to die on the cross. But God's plan didn't end there. 3 days after Jesus died on the cross, he came back to life so that we could live with him forever, because Jesus is alive. Now this next page, you may not have time, your kids may be spastic, but you could just kind of tell us, guys, God loved us and he gave us Jesus. And when we believe in Jesus, we get to go to heaven and spend forever with him. So this is just kind of the salvation message. If your kids are super captivated and you want to talk about this with them, then you totally can. If you feel like, nope, we're just not having that today, then that's totally fine too. And you could just kind of maybe just hit those big, bold things that are right there for that activity. So then let's see, moving on to the memory verse activity. What you're going to do is you have in your cart some patience puzzles. Just make sure that these get back in the baggies so that each service has them to reuse. And you're going to put your kids into pairs or groups of 3. And you're going to give them a patience puzzle. And you're going to say, when I say green light, you're going to work together to put together your puzzle. If I say yellow light, you have to freeze and put it together, or you have to go in slow motion. And if I say red light, you freeze. So then as they're putting their puzzle together, just go red light, yellow light, green light. And then you're going to say, okay, we got a new memory verse to help them look it up in their Bibles. And then talk about the words Lord and wait. So you might say, so who is the Lord in our verse? Yeah, well, that's God. And then it says, what does it mean to wait for God? So that might mean to wait for God's best, to wait for God to help us, to wait for God to show us what to do. And then you'll just close by saying, guys, patience is waiting until later for what you want now. And Psalm 27:14 tells us that God wants us to wait for him and his best for us. But God knows that waiting isn't always easy. And that's why he encourages us to be strong and not lose our hope in him. So God proved that you can trust him when he sent Jesus to die on the cross. And we know that Jesus is alive. So remember, wait for the Lord, be strong, and don't lose hope. Wait for the Lord. So then just as you pray, kids don't need anything. You can close it down with this little prayer right here. And just as kids leave, make sure they all get a memory verse card and a parent cue for this month. And then also make sure that they take home their Patience pet care and their little chia pet that they make. So that's it, guys. Again, thank you for serving at Easter. Sorry this video was so long. And I just hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Easter. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.